Hey AutoFair fans, we are out here in the manufacturer's midway, and this is a vehicle I've been dying to see. I personally love the Twister movie, and I was so excited that I heard that the truck from the original Twister movie was going to be here. So I want to introduce you to my friend Jessica. Jessica?
Hi.
Thanks so much for having us out. Can you tell us about this cool truck?
Well, this cool truck, you might recognize it a little bit. It actually has a fun story. So we've actually owned it about 12 or 13 years. It originally went from the movie and stayed in Wakita for about a year at the Twister Museum and went back to California with the movie company, who then sold it on eBay. It was bought by a gentleman in Oklahoma, and he drove it every day like a daily driver to work and back. It got stolen. And
no way.
Yes, it got stolen, and then I don't even know how long it was later, but it was quite some time later where the police actually found it buried, up to its axles in mud. Motor was blown, transmission, wheels and tires were gone. All the cool stuff, that was in the inside was all gone. And so they brought it back to the original guy that bought it, and so he reached out to us. We have a body shop in Guthrie, Oklahoma, and we do classic car restoration, but he mostly reached out because my husband is kind of known as the Jeep guy, so we do a lot of rock crawling Jeeps and stuff like that. And
very nice.
So he's like, hey, I got this old Jeep you want to buy, and so when my husband went and looked at it, he's like, do you know what you have?
It's like, wait a second. Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, there's a whole stack of paperwork from the movie crew in there, and will you guys take it? And he wanted to sell it to somebody who would eventually restore it. So we drove it the same way it was. You can actually look at the tailgate, and it shows you what the truck looked like when we got it.
Oh yeah, I see the
Yeah, and so we drove it that way for quite some time. And then in the summer of 23, the crew from the new Twisters movie actually came and told us they were going to start filming the new movie. And so we decided to start the restoration and preservation process at our body shop to be ready for the movie coming out in the summer of 2024.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah.
So y'all drive this around, or we're driving around locally just doing local shows?
We do. We drive it everywhere that we can. Within about a 3-hour distance, we'll drive it.
Wow, that's so cool.
She runs and drives great. We did put fuel injection on it, but other than that, it's pretty original.
Yeah, well, it looks amazing.
Thanks.
So does Dorothy work?
So there's nothing on the inside of Dorothy. So this Dorothy actually went directly from the movie to Planet Hollywood in Times Square. And it's been hanging in their rafters. And they, in the summer of 24, they put all of their memorabilia up for auction.
Yeah.
And so we were able to actually buy the Dorothy. And then we found out from the movie buffs later that this is the actual Dorothy that was actually in this truck in the movie, which we didn't know that it was the right one. But it was.
Right.
What you see on the outside, some of the stuff we've had to replace, but there's actually nothing inside. We're working on putting everything back together.
Neat.
So right inside the wheel wells here, you can actually see the fake movie mud. It's spray styrofoam painted brown to look like mud. Apparently they couldn't find enough mud in Oklahoma. I don't get that, but we kept that as much as we could. When we first got it back in, I told you it was buried in the mud. Right. So my husband took it to the car wash and he couldn't figure out why he couldn't get the mud to come off. And that's when he realized that it was actually movie mud. It was fake. And so one of the wheel wells, some of it's missing because he sprayed it off, but the rest of it, we tried to keep it even when we did the restoration process.
Oh, that's awesome.
The dash pad did have to be redone, but the rest of the interior is all original to what it was through the movie.
So cool. It's a lot of radios.
Yes, it's funny because all of that is now on your cell phone.
Right.
And when we talk to, especially a lot of storm chasers from Oklahoma, they look in here and they see that and they're like, oh yeah, we remember this setup, because that's how they all started, the phone and the CB radios and the camcorder and the camera. And they're like, yeah, we do this all with our phone now.
Wow, that's cool.
So if you look under the rear here, you're going to see a silver cylinder.
Yeah.
And that's where they actually mounted one of the movie cameras. And you can also see this black cylinder here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also, this was actually bolted to the bottom of the cab, and it has a plate, 4 spots under the cab so that they could insert the pole that had the camera on it and move it around the cab wherever they needed to.
Right. Oh, that's so neat.
And you can see the flaws that are in the paint. When we did the paint job on it, we went back to the movie and made sure that every flaw that we have here is matched what it was in the movie.
Oh, that's so
So those
neat.
are all intentional.
Very cool. And the cow.
Well, you have to have a cow.
Have to have the cow.
Everybody knows Twister has a cow.
Absolutely.
If you look right here in the inside, you can actually see where Helen Hunt signed the dash.
Oh yeah. Well, that's great.
So you can see right here on the bumper, there's a number 2 that's been stamped in the metal.
Yeah.
And the movie crews, they signify this to tell you which vehicle appears on the screen in which order. So the Jeep is the second vehicle that appears on screen. So all of the Jeep trucks had a number 2 stamped in the bumper.
Nice. That's neat.
So you can see the inside of the engine bay is red. The truck was originally born red, and they painted it yellow for the movie. So when we did the restoration, we decided to go ahead and keep that. This is the original AMC 360 motor that was in it during the movie. We did do some, enhancements and upgrades and added fuel injection. We went ahead and painted the valve cover gaskets the AMC teal blue, but everything else is original.
That looks awesome. A little more drivability.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes sense. Well, I tell you, Jessica, I really, really appreciate you showing us this really cool truck.
Absolutely.
What a neat piece to find and restore.
Yes,
Thank you for
so
doing
much.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. You haven't come out yet. Come out to AutoFair.